My name is Joe Milliner. I am the father of a man that was shot down over Vietnam in 1971. We got a message from the War Department that our son was MIA, and I will read you the particular information that was sent to us. The name is William Patrick Milliner. The branch, U.S. Army. Troop B, 7th Squadron, 1st Cavalry, 164th Aviation Group. He was the pilot of a Cobra helicopter. His home is the Record City, Louisville, Kentucky. Date of loss was March 6, 1971. The country of Laos, that has later been changed to South Vietnam. Lost coordinates, status, missing in action, Category 1. Category 1, the Army listed him as Category 1. That meant that there was, the Vietnamese knew something about what happened to my son. So we will proceed here on as to the life of my son. He was a sophomore at Western Kentucky University when he decided to join the service. He was a single-wing pilot. He had a license for a single-wing pilot, but for some reason or other he wanted to join the helicopters, the fighting unit, which was known as the Black Hawks. And he signed up for training. There was no problem. He was accepted for training. In fact, when he graduated, he was 8th in a class of 100. Most of these guys were officers, a couple of field officers. So my son graduated near the top of the group. He went to Vietnam, and he was given extra training because for some reason or other, they felt that he was the type of person that should handle the visiting personnel, such as generals and people, congressmen and people of this sort. So he was giving extra training in a certain type of helicopter, and this is what he was assigned to in Vietnam. However, that didn't seem to last very long. They were looking for volunteers for the Black Hawks, and he immediately joined the Black Hawks. He had combat time, and on this particular day, March the 6th, 1971, they were trying to protect a downed aircraft in the area of Saponi in Laos. And their fuel was running low, so they were released to return to the base. Approaching the base, it was socked in, and they evidently, they did not have radio contact because they flew on trying to find an opening in the clouds where they could descend under or through the clouds to an open area where they could use dead reckoning to land. They disappeared, and the next day his group went in search. They couldn't find anything, any accident of the chopper. It wasn't too long until we got a message that he was a MIA, missing in action, and then in 1978 we got a message from the War Department telling us that if we could not prove our son was alive, that he would be declared dead. Well, we went to Washington, and that's exactly what happened. There was nothing we could do. There was no way that we could prove the man was alive. So our son was declared dead in 1978. My wife and I, more or less, we live with the idea, or we live with the fact that they presented to us that he was dead. In our hearts, we was quite sure our son was still alive. But still, there was nothing that we did until 1989, October of 1989. A friend here in Washington slipped a secret document under his copier and sent us a copy of the secret document. This is the secret document. It is secret. The people that are holding our son wanted to bring him to the American Embassy in Bangkok. They brought his credentials across the Mekong River and to the American Embassy in Thailand. There was a man that they met, supposedly a Stony Beach boy, that contacted them and told them to go home and forget it. The American government does not pay a reward for any Americans supposedly lost in Southeast Asia. October of last year, we received a letter from a doctor in Cambodia. This doctor was, and I'll read part of it to you. I worked for the government in Cambodia and Laos as a physician. Only a couple of times was I blindfolded and taken somewhere I didn't need to know. They paid me really good, and I lived my life in Cambodia with professional people, especially other physicians and government type people, among others that were secretive about where they worked and what they actually did. I never asked questions. I loved the people and lived quietly. Over 3 weeks ago in September, I was blindfolded and driven what seemed like forever with a government official who kept telling me, don't look at anyone for too long, which seemed weird to say the least. I went to a village hut. The official met with 4 really young people, and in walked a man who was bleeding from his left arm. We have known for years that our son had left arm was missing. He had no arm as it was cut in a perfect angle. I did what I could. I didn't have much equipment with me or my assistant with me like I usually do. They refused anyone with me or much of a supply of medicine. He also had a laceration from his left foot to his buttocks. He was really skinny and a beard a mile long. He did have some hair on his head, but not much. His blood pressure was good and everything else was fine. I could see some muscle definition like he was a working man. In the end, he grabbed me by my shirt and said, "Are you American?" I said, "Yes." "Are you Australian?" He said, "No, I'm from America, Kentucky. Please call my mother. Please call my father. Please call my commander." I said, "Why don't you do it yourself?" He said, "These men won't let me go. I've been here for so long, and in Russia, working on the bridges and the underground." Then he said, "Please be quiet. Talk low. Don't tell the embassy. They are sold out."